Okay, guys, new rerun event is out. New rerun event. I believe this is the last event I cover before we go back to the cycle when I first started these kind of videos, which is called like, is it worth farming? I think the first one I ever did was the Duca event, which is Benito's, I think, which should be the next event, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been a full almost 2 years since that. Interesting. Anyways, though, let's go ahead and talk about this event and if it's worth farming. Luckily, for those that cleared the event already, it's already unlocked. I don't have to do anything. It's already there. So, that being said, let's go ahead and talk about this event and is it worth farming? Starting with, again, the endgame players. So, if you guys don't already know, D3 has these bad boys right here, the submarine-only G7E homing torpedoes. These are the second best submarine torpedoes you can have before you get bitters. So having those right now, if you really need them, is not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Definitely worth farming here. Also, there's a chance to get U-37 drop as well too, so you save yourself 8,000 points. So it's not terrible to farm D3 because these things right here are really good. Second best torpedoes for submarines in the game as of right now. And for D2, we have these things which aren't great, so we'll skip those. D1, we have quad homings. These are really, really good. One of the best torpedoes in the game as of right now for auto battling, and most of us here do auto battle. So if you guys want some really good autoing torpedoes, these quad magnetics are definitely the way to go. Highly, highly recommend. So if you guys want to farm D3 for the drop ship and the submarine stuff, you can farm D3. More points as well too. Otherwise, if you guys really, really want those quad homing torpedoes for just autoing for your vanguards or whatever, then D1 is also a good choice. The other maps though, C3, comments, we skip those. These suck as well too. And D1 is just purple. So either D1 or D3 is the map here. It's up to you guys to what you want to farm. Personally, I say go for D3 for the drop. You also have a week to farm as well too, so make sure you get value as much points as possible. So do that, and you should be okay. As for mid-game players, same thing. If you guys can farm D3, farm here for the submarine stuff. I think as a mid-game player, a lot of you guys are lacking submarine investments, so coming over here to farm some G7Es or whatever is definitely a really, really good option until you get those bidders coming in for your submarines. As for the auto quads as well too, also another solid choice. It's up to you though on what you want to prefer farming for. This isn't a best in slot, but it's a good filler, whereas the quad homing torpedoes can be a best in slot. Otherwise, I just run with the rainbow quints. I just go with those. So it's up to you though on what you guys prefer. Farm either D1 or D3. You guys decide, and you should be good to go. As for new game players, I don't think this map has like anything crazy. I go ahead and double check if there is anything new for B3. Again, this is the last event. This is the last event before I start doing like the Let's Play or the Is It Worth Farming For series. So I'm not exactly sure what this event had. So B3 obviously has U-37, has some purple submarine stuff, some purple gear. Honestly, for the most part, the purple gear here is kind of whatever. Now there is the same thing as like it has the purple tier of these things right here, which is basically this, and this right here has the purple tier of these things, which is like almost this, but essentially these things. Honestly, just farm D3, guys. Get the U-37 drop, get some submarines in, and you should be fine. If you guys can push to like D1, you can farm D1 if you guys can. I think D1 is about like early level 100s or like maybe like level 90s, like mid 90s. So like if you have like level 100 ships, they can probably farm D1 comfortably. So do that. Chinese characters, by the way, that's interesting. But farm B3 for the ship drop. Otherwise, the gear here is like kind of whatever. And if you guys can, try to get the D1. It's going to be a weak stretch, but try to do your best. Otherwise, just farm B3 though. Try to get that ship drop. And as for ship priorities, again, this is a very old event. It's about almost 2 years old, so there's not a lot of things lacking here. The UR prints this time around is for PR2 and PR3, so you won't see any PR4 or PR5 prints in here. Again, it's almost 2 years old. So no FDG, or there's no Plymouth, no Breast, no, oh no, no Breast, no E-Girl, no Hakuryu, but there is FDG, there is Azuma, and there is Drake in here. So keep that in mind. Same with the general place PR1, PR2, and PR3. Also reading that wrong. So those are in there as well too. And yes, if you guys need those things, buy those. But dude, there is more of these pull tickets. So if you guys are lacking on pulls right now, definitely get these. Try to get the ships that you're missing. Obviously, I'll talk in my upcoming video about the gacha banner in general, but free pulls right here, guys. If you guys need them, about 2,500 points for 5 pulls, definitely worth it. Cog chips as always if you guys need those things, and the usual resources in general. Overall, this shop is really simple compared to the shops we have nowadays, so just grab what you really need. Again, keep in mind the prints are for PR1, 2, and 3 max, so it's not going to be like the greatest thing ever. And as for milestone rewards here, I believe cog chips are where you want to start or stop. So actually, this shop is even worse. So I think 25,000 points is kind of where you want to stop if you need the Drake prints. Otherwise, though, 15,000 points is probably enough to get the cog chips. I'm gonna go 15,000 points for cog chips. But if you guys want to go for the extra 2 Drake, FDG, or Ozma prints, then go for 25k. It's not a really crazy milestone rewards against only a 1-week event, so get the maximum out of it by just going for either 15k or 25k. It's up to you guys to decide there. So that is Inverted Orthant Rerun, one of the very old events in this game, early Generation 2 event, or roughly around there. So it's definitely not the best event to farm, but there are some neat goodies in here, and there are some nice quick bees to grab before this event ends. Again, you have a week max to get this done. Good luck to everyone farming. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.